Level 1. Deserted wastelands. These worlds didn't fail because they were empty. They failed because no one wanted to stay. Open worlds are supposed to invite curiosity, but at this level, the map exists mostly to remind you how far you still have to drive. In the mid-2000s, Driver 3 launched in 2004 under Atari, following the success of Driver and Driver 2. It promised a cinematic, globe-trotting crime sandbox across Miami, Nice, and Istanbul. What players got instead was stiff driving, awkward on-foot controls, and missions so poorly explained that even the tutorial felt hostile. The world wasn't technically small, it just felt abandoned. Streets existed but reasons didn't. Nearly a decade later, Ride to Hell, Retribution repeated the same mistake with more confidence and fewer excuses. Released in 2013 by Eutechnyx and published by Deep Silver, it was marketed as an outlaw biker epic. What it delivered was a broken combat system, repetitive riding segments, and a world that felt like a backdrop for loading screens. Side activities were almost non-existent, NPCs barely reacted, and the open world served no mechanical or narrative purpose. Critics didn't debate its design philosophy. They questioned why it shipped at all. The pattern here is simple. These games treated the open world as a requirement, not a tool. Bigger maps were mistaken for ambition, and traversal replaced interaction. Players responded the only way they could, by leaving. A world can be vast and still feel deserted. This one perfected that feeling. Level 2. Bug and glitched nightmares. These games weren't hollow. They were unstable. At this level, the ambition is obvious, the budgets are real, and the intentions are mostly good. The problem is that the worlds arrived unfinished. Mafia 3 released in 2016 from Hangar 13 under 2K Games with a detailed recreation of a fictionalized New Orleans called New Bordeaux. The atmosphere was strong, the music was period perfect, and the narrative tackled race and crime more directly than most AAA games dared. But the open world collapsed under repetition and technical issues. Missions recycled constantly. Bugs were common. Players noticed the cracks quickly. Then there was No Man's Sky. At launch in 2016, Hello Games promised a procedurally generated universe with 18 quintillion planets. What players found was technically impressive but mechanically shallow. Multiplayer features were missing. Planet variety was limited. Systems barely interacted. The controversy wasn't just about bugs. It was about expectation versus reality. The world existed, but it didn't behave the way it was advertised to. Fallout 76 in 2018 pushed the same problem even further. Bethesda removed human NPCs entirely at launch, betting on environmental storytelling and multiplayer systems to carry Appalachia. Instead, players encountered server instability, physics glitches, and a world that felt lifeless despite being online. The backlash was immediate. Reviews dropped. Refund requests surged. Bethesda spent years rebuilding trust through updates that slowly added back what players expected on day one. In all three cases, the open world wasn't conceptually broken. It was prematurely exposed. These worlds didn't scare players away with boredom. They scared them away with uncertainty. Level 3. Repetitive fetch quests and copy-paste. This is where open worlds start working and immediately wear themselves out. By the mid-2010s, studios, especially Ubisoft, has figured out the formula. Towers reveal maps. Camps need clearing and side quests reward gear. Assassin's Creed Odyssey in 2018 represented Ubisoft's full commitment to scale. Set in ancient Greece, it was massive, visually impressive, and packed with content. Too much content. Side activities blurred together. Regions differed cosmetically but not mechanically. Exploration became a checklist. The Far Cry series followed a similar path. Far Cry 4 in 2014 refined the outpost system and added verticality through curates terrain. It was fun, controlled, and familiar. By the time Far Cry 6 released in 2021, the structure hadn't evolved. Guerrilla warfare turned into icon hunting. Characters talked a lot. The world listened very little. Players didn't hate these games. Many finished them. That was the problem. Engagement became routine instead of discovery. The worlds were functional, polished, and dense, but predictable. Every activity trained players not to explore, but to optimize. At this level, open worlds stop feeling broken and start feeling industrial. Everything works but nothing surprises you. Level 4. Good but bland worlds. These worlds did almost everything right, and that's exactly why they're forgettable. Watch Dogs launched in 2014 from Ubisoft Montreal with a modern Chicago, real-time hacking mechanics, and a timely focus on surveillance culture. Technically, it delivered. Systems interacted cleanly. The map felt alive. But personality was missing. Side activities lacked emotional weight. The city responded to the player, but rarely remembered them. Fallout 4 in 2015 refined Bethesda's formula with improved gunplay, base building, and a visually richer Commonwealth. It sold over 12 million copies within its first day. Critics praised accessibility. Longtime fans noticed simplification. Dialogue trees shrank. Consequences softened. The world was busy but flatter. Exploration rewarded materials more than stories. Both games succeeded commercially. Both worlds were competent. Neither lingered in memory the way their potential suggested. The issue wasn't design failure. It was creative restraint. These worlds avoided risks, and in doing so, avoided identity. They were good places to spend time. Just not places you think about later. Level 5. Immersive explorers. This is where open worlds stop being maps and start becoming experiences. By this level, the world isn't just a container for missions. It reacts, adapts, and pulls the player forward through motion and momentum. Grand Theft Auto V, released in 2013 by Rockstar Games, set a new baseline for density. Los Santos wasn't just large. It was layered. AI routines ran constantly. Random events triggered organically. Switching between 3 protagonists mid-mission wasn't a gimmick. It was a structural statement about scale and perspective. 5 years later, Marvel's Spider-Man in 2018 took a different approach. Insomniac Games didn't try to simulate an entire city ecosystem. They focused on movement. Swinging through Manhattan wasn't fast travel. It was the core loop. The city existed to support that feeling. Crimes popped up dynamically. Side content was optional, but traversal itself became the reward. What ties these worlds together isn't size or realism. It's flow. Players move through them naturally, without friction, without constant reminders that they're completing tasks. Exploration feels intuitive, not mandatory. The world doesn't beg for attention. It earns it. At this level, players don't ask where to go next. They're already moving. Level 6. Freedom Masterpieces. Here, structure loosens and systems take priority over scripts. The Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim, released in 2011 by Bethesda Game Studios, didn't overwhelm players with mechanics. It gave them space. Quests could be ignored. Mountains could be climbed simply because they were there. Modding extended its life far beyond expectation, but the core design was already flexible enough to support that freedom. The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt in 2015 approached freedom differently. CD Projekt Red built a world dense with authored stories, but rarely forced them on the player. Side quests had consequences. Characters remembered decisions. Regions felt culturally distinct. The world guided players emotionally rather than mechanically. Then The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild arrived in 2017 and quietly dismantled convention. Nintendo removed traditional quest gating, tower overload, and linear progression. Systems interacted consistently. Fire spread. Weather mattered. Physics was reliable. The world didn't explain itself. It demonstrated itself. These games didn't chase realism. They chased coherence. Every mechanic reinforced the same promise. You can try this and it will probably work. At this level, freedom isn't chaos. It's design confidence. Level 7. Really alive worlds. These worlds don't feel designed. They feel inhabited. At the top, open worlds stop responding to the player and start existing alongside them. Red Dead Redemption 2, released in 2018 by Rockstar Games, didn't just simulate a frontier. It simulated routines. NPCs remembered encounters. Animals hunted each other. Weather systems altered behavior. Animations were slow, deliberate, sometimes frustrating, and intentional. The world wasn't optimized for speed. It was optimized for presence. Elden Ring in 2022 achieved aliveness through absence. From software removed quest markers, minimized exposition, and trusted environmental storytelling entirely. The lands between didn't care if you understood it. Enemies wandered independently. Discoveries felt accidental. Death wasn't punishment. It was information. These games reached the same destination through opposite paths. One through meticulous realism, the other through systemic mystery. Both created worlds that didn't wait for the player to act before existing. In these worlds, you don't just play, you live. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked, you'll like this too.